¿Qué tal, raza? Estamos de vuelta con otro episodio más aquí entre humo y charla. Y para la gente que le gusta la comida buena y le gusta comer bien exotic, I would say exotic. Hoy les traemos a un chef, al Felipe Cuevas.
Mucho gusto.
Bienvenido,
mucho gusto.
viejo. Bienvenido.
Gracias.
Bienvenido aquí entre humo y charlas, aquí al cuartito donde preguntamos.
Primeramente, gracias por venir a platicar con nosotros y también a contarnos un poquito de lo que ha sido su trayectoria en la industria de la comida.
No, pues vamos a darle.
Hay que darle.
Y como pueden mirar, he already cooked for us. He already gave us a bomb-ass dish.
De más.
¿Qué es esto que nos cocinaste hoy?
Aquí tenemos un tomahawk. Nuestros meat sponsors, meat distributors, follow them on Instagram. They hooked us up with some tomahawks directly from Sonora, Mexico. So we're cooking and eating our own people's food. You know, I'm a big believer in using our ingredients. Todo lo que viene de México, para mí es lo mejor, ¿verdad? Y para seguir apoyando a nuestra raza y nuestra gente. Tenemos un tomahawk cocinado con se llama Chef's Dirt. Es una especie que hago yo con diferentes chiles tatemados, sal negra, ajo negro, pocas otras cosas. And we finished it with una salsa macha, bien chingona, que ponemos sesame and toasted peanuts también, con unos rabanitos, zucchini blossoms, y ahí, pruébenle. Pruébenle, me dicen qué es lo que piensan, ¿eh?
Hay que probarlo porque a Richie ya sé que era.
Es más, Richie va a ser el proveedor. ¿A qué sabe Richie?
Tú di, no, I'm a digging too.
Mira, para que vean, los gorditos no mienten.
Ya no más.
Adiós. Qué chulada, qué chulada. Luego se le ve el color a la carne mexicana.
Sí,
luego.
sí. Yeah, it's not processed how our stuff is y todo. Y el colorcito, todo y el sabor es donde está la diferencia. Pruébenle. Ya no más.
If you guys could taste it, juicy, la salsa, todo. Everything about it is fucking good.
And we cooked it
hype.
over mesquite. We have to cook over mesquite, live fire. No que propane, nada de esa madre, ni briquettes, Kingsford, no. Uno mezquite de México.
Algo bello para el camello.
Eso.
Eso es fire.
Y el chef no lo va a probar. El chef lo tiene que probar también. ¿Cómo de que no?
Espérame.
God damn. Eso está bien bueno y cocinado by Chef Felipe right here, you know?
A la perfección.
La neta que sí.
Pasado de lanza, viejo.
This is fucking fire. One of the best fucking meats I've tasted, bro. Y con el sazón y todo. Sin mentirles, you know what I mean? Y muchas gracias otra vez por venir y más que nada cocinarnos aquí, you know what I mean? Bringing us a tomahawk y más que nada tu ¿cómo se dice? In a way, it's your recipe. It's your... It's you. That's you. You know what I mean? That you bring it out here, you know?
It's my identity. You know?
Exactly.
It's a good way to kind of express who I am and my flavors y pues lo que traemos, you know?
And talking about identity, ¿cómo empezó todo? ¿Cómo empezó Chef Felipe? My bad. Can I call you Chef Felipe? O ¿cómo te gusta que te digan?
Chef Felipe o nomás Chef, como quieras.
For sure.
Como quieras.
Pero ¿cómo empezó todo eso de...
Pues la
chef?
cocina y lo de cocinar a mí me gustaba desde que estaba chiquito. I was 5 years old y mi mamá estaba cocinando y yo me metía a la cocina y estaba cocinando un ceviche, yo le robaba los camarones crudos y ahí me iba, ¿verdad? Pensando que nunca me veía. And later in life, she tells me, she's like, "Oh, I always noticed you were always doing that." I'm like, valió madre. But yeah, so I just started seeing my mom always cooking and you know, always making new recipes y todo olía bien bueno. You know, I'm like, damn, se me antoja y cómo hacer esto y eso. Y poco a poquito me empezó a meter a la cocina. Quién sabe cómo sabía las cosas. Ponía a hacerme huevos para desayunar y le echaba casi todas las especies que estaban en la pantry. Salía salado, no sabía quién sabe qué tanto. Pero mi mamá no le decía, está bueno, mijo. Cualquier cosa de tus manos está buena. But, you know, you learn. You keep going. And my dad was also a chef. My dad was a chef for the Bonaventure Hotel in downtown for many years. So hacía caterings y cosas así. So, yo siempre lo veía con su chef coat y todo, su apron. Y, that shit looks dope, you know? And I recently found a photo of my dad, too. I'm going to post it on my page soon. Because I want to kind of show where my influence came from, you know? Y mi jefa siempre era de hacer todo from scratch. Las salsas, todo. Muchas de las recetas que uso hoy son recetas de la familia. De mi grandma. Or we have like a recipe and then I make my twist to it, you know? So my mom has like these bomb refried beans that she makes and I asked her for the recipe and when she tries them, she's like, they're different, but they're great, you know, because tienen mi sazón. Pero sí, entonces así empezó. Cuando los que estaban viendo Sesame Street on Channel 28, yo estaba viendo Juliet Childs, the cooking channels and all this kind of stuff, you know, on Channel 28. Because that was a free channel, you know? Y sí, así me gustaba siempre eso de la cocina y todo. And little by little, I always cook for friends at my place and everything that we did. Siempre era de que we're doing carne asada y ahí me metía yo. We're doing this, me metía yo. Se me antojaba un caldo, me lo hacía yo. Little things like that. Y uno va aprendiendo poco a poco. Y ya después de eso, when I was, in my 20s, I'm 35 now. When I was in my 20s, I started cooking a bit more for friends, and we would have gatherings, and I would always they call me Fresh too, you know. So it was an industry name because I worked in nightlife for a very long time, and they were like, "Put Fresh on the grill, man. Put Fresh on the grill." Y ahí vamos. Y fue algo que siempre me gustó. Es lo que siempre me hacía feliz, ¿verdad? Hay cosas en la vida de trabajo que sacan buen dinero, sacan esto, pero the best thing is to find something that you can do, that you truly enjoy, and eventually you get paid for it, you know? And I found it. It's cooking. Along with other things that I do that I really enjoy, but my true passion is cooking, you know? In 2018, I started a meal prep company called Eat Like Fresh Meals. Y empezó nomás porque la gente siempre me decía, damn, I want to eat like Fresh. I would be on Snapchat or Instagram poniendo la comida y todo. Y le decía, damn, what I gotta do to eat like Fresh, ¿verdad? Y yo les decía, man, one day, ¿verdad? Or just let's do a cookout or something. Y poco a poco le fuimos dando. Y 2018, I was working nightlife. And then a friend of ours told us, you know, he's like, man, you should just cook some of your meals or something. And then my wife told me, she's like, let's just start it, you know? So she helped me kind of put it together and everything, the idea, the concept. Y yo digo, pues, ¿qué pinche nombre le vamos a poner, verdad? Pues, Eat Like Fresh Meals. Toda la gente dice, I want to eat like fresh. Pues, ahí te va. And it was, you know, regular meal, it was meal preps. So, la cosa con los meal preps es que la gente agarra algo and you get tired of it. You know, it's same fucking boiled chicken y pinche todo sin sazón. It's stuff that you'll eat because you have to, because you're trying to get your fitness goals and, you know, lose weight or whatever. Pero eventually you end up hating it. Y 1 week later, 2 weeks later, ahí va pinche pizza, unos burritos y todo, ¿verdad?
Y valió verga
todo. Y valió verga todo. So es cuando cambia la cosa, you know. So dije, if I'm gonna make it, you're not gonna get to pick what you want. My menu, what I want to cook every week, my way. I'm not going to count calories. I'm just going to cook healthy meals, pero con sabor y con sazón. Hacía que hasta caldo de camarón, curries, Indian food, American food, gumbos, and stuff like that. I'm not a trained chef, you know, like I didn't go to culinary school for this. Pero tengo un chingo de amigos that did, or that worked with like big chefs, or they trained, or they taught me. So slowly, me decían, ¿sabes qué? I'm gonna come over, smoke them out, and fucking, you know, smoke them out, and they'll come and teach me, oh, this is how you do this is how you hold the knife properly, this is how you don't slice your fingers off, you know? Even like using a whisk, it has its own way, you know, to do it.
Todas las
mañas, you know, that you gotta learn in the kitchen, that they teach you in culinary school, or you just learn. And, you know, some people tell me, like, culinary school is good for technique, you know, para aprender las técnicas y todo, pero you don't need it. The best way to learn is doing it. You know, go work at a restaurant, it's called staging, right? When you stage is you go work for free, but it's an opportunity. Que te deje un pinche chef chingón entrar a su cocina Y que he could, like, how can you say, like,
He could work on you?
yeah, he could work on you, and he believes that you're not gonna fuck everything up during a service.
Yeah.
That's a big deal,
Yeah.
you know. So, para mí it's like, all right, cool. You want to stash here, you want whatever, pues hay que darle, ¿verdad? Y sí, y así fue. Y empecé con las meal preps. Y I forgot the first meal I think was like ground turkey with veggies and a bunch of different stuff, and it tasted good, you know. My wife, she's a personal trainer and she's a nutritionist too, and she was like, "Damn, babe, this is good." You know, I was like, "Okay," you know. So, well, I know it was fucking good, you know. Yeah, but for her to be like on the meal prep side to be que está bueno, you know, I'm like, all right, cool. So then I still worked at the club at that time. I used to run a spot called the Mark. That was that 801. No, that was a Mark already. And I did a bunch of containers and I brought it for the staff, right? Same night, I passed out like, I don't know, like 15 plates or something like that. At the end of the night, I had orders already. And I hadn't even thought of starting it yet. I was just like, I'm going to give it a test run. A ver qué.
A ver qué piensan.
A ver qué piensan. Que me dicen, no, esta madre vale pura madre, güey, ¿no?
Sí, mo.
Y no. Al final de la noche, they're like, hey, I want to place an order for next week. Eso que lo otro. Dije, chinga su madre. I guess we started a business, you know?
Yeah.
Y así empezó. Y así empezó la cosa. Y
You still have that
no.
business going?
No. I stopped it because I started a marketing agency with an old partner of mine. And I didn't have the time to do it anymore. I was making around 500 meals a week out of an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah. I would, go to Restaurant Depot, buy my stuff and everything, be home at like 2 p.m. to start prepping and everything. De las 2 que empezaba, no terminaba como hasta las 5 o 6 de la madrugada del otro día. Mi wife llegaba a la casa de trabajar como a las 6, 7 y se ponía a poner labels on the meal prep containers, help me cut chicken or little things like that. Por la chinga era una chinga. My back hurt, I got carpal tunnel out of it, de todo,
Verga.
Pero we did it. We did it. And we grew our engagement quick. On the page, empezamos que con like 30 followers the first week. 3 months later, we had 5,000 followers.
That's crazy.
We just did the same marketing strategies y todo. We kind of did it. Y I ended up just reaching out to a lot of influencers that I knew, DJs that I knew through nightlife, because from working. Some were like Jay Valentino, Legend Forever. I don't know if you guys know who they are. They have really big following. So yeah. I would hook them up. And the first one was Jay Valentino. And he's like, hey, my boy saw my meal preps. Do you want some? So, all right, cool. I'll give him some. I don't know if you guys know about gaming, but Face Clan also. Simone. Face Clan, those fools. I used to feed all of those fools too. And they would just like tag it and boom, 200 followers in one day. Another 200, another 50 here and everything. It just started blowing up. Y pues le dimos and it was good. Pero era una pinche chinga. Una chinga de esas de que I would cook one day and rest the next day. Cook one day, rest the next day. I cooked twice a week. Y no mames, it was a struggle. It was hard, Y it got to the point where other opportunities came up, and I decided to just, go with the other opportunity, because at the end I ended up having staff, people coming over to my house to help me prep and plate and everything. But after that, I took a break. I took a break from it. I still cooked and everything, pero llegó al punto que, marketing money was better. We're growing a company. We had employees. We had like 11 employees and stuff. Payroll was high and everything. So we have to make sure we focus our time on the business that has the most responsibility. Y pues la gente se le tiene que pagar, ¿verdad? So hay que sacar feria y, marketing and todo. Y pues sí, se puso bueno y then the fucking pandemic hit, Y we started working from home a little bit after that. Y it didn't work so well. And then we just ended up closing it down, the marketing agency. And then I just started consulting on my own. And that's when I got heavier into the cannabis industry, So I'm currently working in the cannabis industry and I'm a private chef.
Damn. Yeah. Best of both worlds, you could say, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Neta, best of both worlds.
yeah.
Shit, who doesn't need a chef when they're faded as fuck?
Yeah. And that's actually one of my goals. The company that I work with right now, I handle operations, is California Honey. You know, it's a brand that started in 2014. It's a very well-established brand, and we have some fire product, you know. We use only the best oils, the best flour, the best extracts for everything that we do. The hardware is proprietary to us, you know. Y what I want to do, I actually want to put together an infused experience. You know, so I've seen a few other brands do it and stuff like that, but I want to do it my way, you know. And I have a few chef friends. One of my boys, Chef Victor Munoz, he's currently in Miami opening a restaurant over there. I told him the idea, and he's like, "Güey, no mames, hay que hacerlo, güey, hay que darle." You know?
Can you explain that? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, an experience?
So, fine dining, Mexican fine dining, but infused. So the salsa macha that we had for this tomahawk steak would be infused maybe with like 50 milligrams THC.
The butter.
You know? The butter, all that kind of stuff.
Dang.
Desserts and everything. Pero cuando cocinas con marihuana, one thing that you have to understand too, you're going to get high as shit, you know. But CBD gives a counteractive effect. So if you're cooking y te chingas 10 milligrams, and another 10 milligrams, and another 10 milligrams, and you have like 7 courses or whatever. In between those courses, tienes que meter unos cuantos courses con CBD. 20, 30 milligrams y baja. Para que no te están ahí todo, güey.
Para que no te vayas todo.
Sí, güey, todo ahí. After fell asleep in the third course.
Todavía no acabas y ya te fuiste.
Yeah.
Literally food coma.
Literally, yeah. So that's the goal. You know, I wanna talk to my boss and be like, hey, you know what? I wanna put together this infused dinner, and you know, invite people and create something dope out of it. La cosa conmigo es, una cosa es cocinar y otra cosa es dar una experiencia con comida. You know, that's what my goal is. Like I said, I'm not classically trained or professionally trained, but I got friends that are, you know, so they're teaching me, you know, and I was able to become part of this amazing group called Industry Only. It's this dope ass dude named Andy Wang. He's a food writer, right? And like known everywhere, you know, like writes about restaurants and food throughout the world, you know. And he put together this thing in his backyard, you know, started in his backyard, invited chefs and to cook and do a little potluck. That's the whole thing. That's one potluck. Y now the events have hundreds of people, you know, at different venues and a bunch of different stuff. And it's grown to be something really, really special and really big for the industry. So for me, you know, like I wasn't known or nothing. I just, you know, through my people, yeah. Pero in the real chef industry, la gente no me conocía, yeah. Iba a los eventos y este güey qué, you know, like. But little by little, through those platforms, I was able to cook, you know, and showcase myself. And they're like, damn, okay, chef, this is good, chef. Hizo que el otro. And it became something that sparked the flame back up, you could say. Ahí es cuando dije, aquí es donde soy yo, you know?
The flame of like what, like wanting to be a chef,
the passion of cooking again, you know, because I was so involved in everything else and more of the marketing side of things and consulting with my business, and I knew I could cook, but I felt until I started cooking again, I realized that I was just wasting my time. If I'm not cooking, I'm wasting my time. So my time now, it's California Honey and my cooking. You know, those are the two main things that are important to me, and you know, and yeah.
But that goes back to what you were saying earlier, like when something is for you, it comes back around. It doesn't matter. Like you say, you took time from it and it came back to your life, but it's for you, you know?
And that happened to me various times in my life. But I feel like this time around, I just embraced it, you know? Y dije, ¿sabes qué? Esta madre es para mí y aquí me voy a quedar, you know? So we did a few industry-only events and everything, and met a lot of great people y todo. Y poco a poco fui conociendo que esta persona y esta persona. And you don't know who shows up to these events. Unos son chefs, otros son foodies, otros son food writers y toda esa madre. Y little by little sale un article acá, I get mentioned. Or a dope ass photo gets posted and I'm in it. You know, and an interview pops out for something. They reached out to me from Voyage LA. You know, it's an online magazine. And I did an article with them. And I haven't posted it on my socials. I was literally about to post it. But I'm like, I'm going to wait for the beginning of the month and post it. I want to kind of do something with you guys also. And post like a whole week of interviews and all that, you know. It's like a big deal. You know, we got invited to go cook in Vegas as well. You know, we cooked for Industry Only in Vegas, and we got invited to a few events with the Win for 50 World's Best. And it was just something that if I wouldn't have took that leap and that step, I would still be just doing what I was doing before. I think the worst thing you can do is let fear and comfort win. So if you're comfortable, you're fucking up. If you're not focused on it, if you're not in a situation where you're constantly uncomfortable, you're not pushing yourself. You know, y así es la única forma que crecemos.
Yeah.
You know, porque como hace rato estamos platicando I love what you guys are doing. You know, it's a platform to help our people, you know, showcase, tell their stories and everything like that. Our culture, our people are not known for that. You know, we're the hardest people on our own selves, on our own people, you know?
Facts.
We hate on each other and all this kind of stuff and everything, pero little by little, we're changing that stigma to something where we're doing these kind of sit downs and these podcasts that are allowing people to grow. You know,
to speak too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, to speak and give your story and share your platform for people to know who I am and vice versa. You know, when I post this, they're gonna know about your podcast, and little by little, you know, it's helping each other out. Yeah. It's something that at least I didn't grow up seeing amongst like the business aspect of things. You know, with my family, yeah, you know, like I was working since I was 9 years old. I used to sell colchas, sábanas, and cortinas, dog, house to house. You know. It's funny because when I pulled up over here, I used to work all this area, you know? So I think that's where it sparked. You know, I have that hustle in me no matter what you put me in any situation. If I lose everything today, I'll get it back tomorrow.
Sick.
You know, so.
Yeah. So wolf mentality right there.
Yeah, and a lot of people got to learn from that. You know what I mean? Like, shit, you got to hustle on whatever you're doing. You know,
the hustler mentality.
Going back to what you were saying about the Vegas experience, you as a talented chef already. How did you feel being among the 50th best chefs like around the world, man? How was that for you?
Man, more like the 500 best, but yeah, because everybody was there. Yeah. Everybody. You're talking about like. I met people and became friends with like writers for the LA Times and, you know, Eater LA, like a lot of the big names in our industry. And like I said, I worked in nightlife for almost 13 years. We did concerts, events with every rapper, artist, celebrity, actor you could think of. I would never feel like, oh my God, that's this person or whatever. Nunca fue eso de starstruck, todas esas mamadas. Wait, in Vegas with chefs, I felt like, oh shit, that's chef this, that's chef that, you know. So that's what excite me, you know, seeing that and knowing what they've done, and seeing, you know, what they do motivates you, you know. And I met a chef at one of the events. I made a birria tostada, right? But we elevated it, you know. I did a black truffle chile de árbol salsa. It was a tostada with some Japanese purple radish and bomb-ass birria with a consommé shot with black truffle. All kinds of bomb shit, right? And the chef comes up and he's like, damn, chef, this is good. You know, he tried it and this and that. I'm like, oh, thank you. I have no idea who this guy is, right? And 2 days later... Andy Wang, the guy, he got his tickets to go to this event called Revelry at the Win, and it was some of like the biggest chefs, and it was a dope ass event. It was like $800-900 for like a regular admission ticket to get in. Yeah. But Andy hooked us up. And I go, and one of the main chefs is that guy who ate my tostada.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like, holy shit, he's making tacos, you know? He's Mexican chef and everything and stuff like that. He's making tacos and al pastor right there, but like on a whole different level, you know? You got lines of people just like babeando over his food and everything. And I'm like, this food just telling me that my food was so good, you know? And I go up to him, what up, chef? He's like, oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for coming and everything. And things like that, you know, I think some of the hardest critics, it's us.
Yeah.
For ourselves.
Definitely.
I feel like sometimes we don't believe in what we do, you know, for our own selves. We doubt ourselves. We doubt, like me, sometimes I doubt my plating. I doubt, does this taste good? You know, does this look good? Can I take the risk and do this? You know, like last week, was it last week? Yeah. Last week I did, I got hired by Spotify to cater for the Fuerza Regida album release party in East LA at Don Quixote. Shout out to my boy Drew. He made that happen. And at first I was like, oh shit. Damn, can I do it? You know, 600 people.
That's a lot of people.
You know, it's a lot of people and everything. Ended up being less people the day of the event because they were very strict on who they wanted there, but it was still challenging. Pero dije, agárrate los pinches huevos y dale, güey. Opportunities like this don't just pop up. And if you do this right, more opportunities can come up from this, you know? And they did. We went. I had a fucking amazing team. We killed it. You know, it was really good. We got dope content. People from Spotify were like, hey, those sliders were so good. The food was so simple. They gave me the menu. It was like sliders and, you know, mozzarella sticks, little things like that. But I'm like, I'm not just going to make it así nomás. So for me, I had to elevate it, right? So
put your style in.
Yeah, so I made patties myself at home, hand built, on a brioche bun. I did a chipotle aioli on the bottom with cheddar and grilled onions, you know, on a toasted brioche bun. Boom. That just elevates it, just putting fucking meat in a patty, you know? The mozzarella sticks, I'm not just going to give them fucking mozzarella sticks. So I made like a homemade spicy marinara, and then I put the mozzarella sticks, finish it with some 24th month Parmigiano Reggiano on top and shit with some olive oil. Fire. You know, so little things like that you're just like, I want to make it better.
What are some of your sponsors, or who are some of the people behind you sponsoring the team?
We have a few, actually. One of the amazing olive oils that we have here, Grasa. It's very high quality olive oil. They have that one, which is the drizzle. That's a finishing oil. By finishing, I mean you don't cook with it. You use it to finish your plate, to whatever it is, stuff like that. And then I think we have that one right there. That's the sizzle, drizzle and sizzle. That one's for cooking, you know. So it takes, I think, 13 pounds of olives to make one bottle. And that one takes like more than 20 pounds to make one bottle.
Fuck.
Yeah. But it's very high quality and it's known throughout, you know, the chef industry. If you start following more like chef, you'll see it everywhere, you know. And then we have this amazing beer, Big Noise Beer. My boy Kevin. He just has always been a big supporter, and he's one of the main sponsors for industry only as well. This beer was created to be shared with food. So it's for chefs. It's in a lot of restaurants and stuff like that. And the best way to taste it is eating good food, you know?
You know what? That's crazy that you say that because I'll be telling people like you're gonna like because I usually when I'm like out eating or whatever, I can't drink a beer and then eat my food, like it just doesn't go, you know.
Yeah.
So I get like a glass of water.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. Like you could literally eat some food and then
it
drink
got crafted that way. You know, the hops that they use for it and everything. It's something proprietary that they have, but eat a piece of steak and drink the beer, and it pairs well.
You know what? I just ate a piece of steak. Let me drink one too.
Yeah, get in there. Try 'em, man.
Para bajar el steak, el piece of steak.
No estés atorado, güey.
Atorado aquí. You know. Y saludcita a la buena para todos los que están tomando and watching us, you know.
Salud.
Al chef Felipe.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming, you know. Appreciate it, you know.
Y la neta que sí tiene...
Lo dejen acá con la
Sí
mano
tiene,
estirada.
sí tiene su sabor único porque tiene... El aftertaste que tiene no está amargo y...
Yeah.
just
Regularly you
kicks.
drink a Corona, Modelo, something, it has that aftertaste. You know, this is... I even think it's a little bit sweeter at the end, you know? That and... Of course, California honey, you know? For all my smokers out there, you want some quality product? That's what you need, man.
Check them out. Check them out.
Yeah, we have a really good hash hole. We have a 2-gram live resin disposables, 1-grammers. Yeah, it's really, really good stuff, man. Check us out, CaliforniaHoneyVapes.com, or CaliHoneyShop.com as well. And then another amazing sponsor, Meat Distributors. They're the ones that gave us these amazing tomahawks from Sonora, Mexico. And man, the quality of Mexican,
Pura calidad.
yeah, Mexican meat, man, it's there. Está suavecita, el sabor y todo. Hasta estaba diciendo este güey que el color de la carne, you know, like no está todo brown y toda esa madre. It's good quality stuff, man. Follow them, Meat Distributors. Anything you need, from tomahawks to whole animals, whole pig, chicken. You want chicken nuggets for the kids? My boy got you. You know.
I'm gonna bring Felipe right now a rooster. He's gonna turn him into some fucking...
Yeah.
We'll stuff that
Don't tempt me, dog. I'll do it. We'll
Nah,
be here all
but-
night. Yeah.
You cooked this for us today, which is a tomahawk. But what's your favorite dish to cook or to make?
You know, that's a big question that gets asked to us a lot. Like as a chef and stuff. It depends. It depends. It depends. I cook really good Italian food. You know.
Do you have a specialty like where you're just like, you know,
My
special dish?
my spicy arrabbiata. It's a spicy meat sauce, right? It's fucking delicious. Everybody who tries it, they're like, "Damn, I gotta try it."
Is that the famous spaghetti?
Yeah. I hate that your sister calls it spaghetti.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's pasta, not spaghetti. It's not fucking Chef Boyardee, you know? Like,
Hey,
she's like,
correction.
correction, it's pasta, you know? She'll be like, hey, can you make your spaghetti? I'm like, no, I can make pasta, you know?
I know how to make my pasta.
Yeah. And, you know, but I also love to do, like, really good traditional Mexican food and stuff like that. I love carne en chile guajillo, you know, carne en chile verde. Tortillas hechas a mano, you know, like for me, if a personal dish, you know, I love all this stuff and everything, don't get me wrong, you know, the caviar, the truffles and everything. Give me a fucking plate with some frijoles chinitos, you know, con un queso fresco, un molcajete, una salsita tatemada, you know, some good shit, tortillas hechas a mano.
Yeah.
Dog. I'm there.
Me está
Pedazo de
antojando, viejo.
cecina, you know, like,
Pero es que los sazones que existen en México son únicos. Mucha gente va a México a estudiar la comida para regresarse a Tokio o Alemania para abrir los restaurantes.
Yeah.
Our seasonings.
Ahorita
A1.
muchos chefs se van a Oaxaca.
Yeah.
Porque en Oaxaca hay sabores y especies que no existen en ninguna otra parte del mundo. And that's like traditional Mexican. You know, and I think that's one of the things that I want to make sure that we respect our culture.
Yeah.
You know, and we give it its place. Because it's not all about tacos y burritos y all this kind of shit. You know, like, hay moles que tienen más de 30 ingredientes. You know, like, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to do these things. So, there's chefs, there's fine dining chefs, there's cooks, and then there's traditional chefs. A traditional chef is somebody that cooks traditional recipes, place it traditionally, and that's something big that's happening ahorita en México. I follow a few on Instagram y se me hace que es en Guanajuato, se me hace hay un restaurante.
Excuse me.
Ahí va la big noise.
Para que vean que está buena.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude. That's
Yeah, so there's a restaurant over there in Guanajuato. Y lo que hacen ellos, se traen puras señoras, you know, de los pueblos. Y son chefs tradicionales. Y hacen... venden boletos y cada semana es una chef diferente. And to me, that's amazing. You know, to be able to... Because a lot of the things are that some of those recipes get lost. You know? Y porque a veces una receta, güey, toma horas o días para hacerlas. Andas ahí con el pinche molino, con las especies, la masa, el maíz. And talk about maíz too, you know? Like, the corn we get here is shit. American corn is shit. Overly processed. Ya no hay nada...
Natural.
Yeah, it's all GMO, all this kind of stuff. So, en México hay partes donde las inditas y los indígenas y todo todavía cultivan el maíz de verdad. You know, like the heirloom blue corn, purple corn, all that kind of stuff. And they're making amazing masa, you know, and tortillas and whatever it is that they're making out of that, drinks out of maíz and everything. So things like that are a big deal to me, you know, because it's part of our culture. And I think one thing that I want to do with the food that I make is, like, every time I go to events and showcases or whatever it is, like for the industry, I can make my pasta. I can make different type of cuisines. You know, I've been lucky to travel across Asia. I've been to Vietnam. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Taiwan. And I've been able to be, like, in some dope-ass kitchens, you know? Like, and by dope, I don't mean fine dining. No, I've been in, like, little hut where motherfuckers are cooking back there some amazing shit. Some of the best sauces I ever tried, you know, with fish sauce and all this kind of stuff in Vietnam. And we took a boat. It's called Ha Long Bay. And it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Parece pinche Avatar. You know, in Avatar, cuando están los pillars floating out of water. Así, güey. But they're actually in the water, you know? But it was like a big-ass mountain. Y había un hoyo en el mountain. And we went into the mountain in a little boat. And it's a community living in 5 hours into the ocean. A family, like 20 people living right there, you know? And they catch fish. Y no se los comen luego. They put them in these nets ahí abajo de sus casas because their houses are floating with, you know, those blue trash can bins? That's how the houses are floating. Shit. Yeah. And they're doing it. And they're fucking happy. You know? Like, you look at that and you're like, they hardly have anything, but they're fucking happy. You know? So it makes you see things different. You know? Like, you see different cultures and stuff. But my point of all this is saying, you know, like, I saw them cook and they had a fish that had been, like, growing for like a long time, and they cut it for us to eat. Like, they're sharing things like that's their food, you know, like stuff like that. For them to have chicken out there is like, no mames, like it's like 5 horas para traerte el pinche pollo.
It was like us having caviar today.
Yeah. So things like that, you know, it shows you that even though it seems that they don't have anything, they'll give you everything, you know. So but my point is that I could go and make some of those recipes and include that and everything. But I think one of the things that's important to me is showcasing our food. You know, so when I cook with Mexican flavors. Because it's nuestra cultura, you know, and everything. Y no quiero que se olvide, güey. You know, so, yeah.
So you want to implement the Mexican traditional food into
into my fusion, my version of it.
Right. Because tú le metes tu sazón todavía,
Sí, güey. And don't get me wrong. Yo le meto, like, I'll make certain sauces that I made ¿qué son camarones zarandeados last time. But the sauce, I use fish sauce. That's a Vietnamese thing, you know? And they tried it and they were like, holy shit, this is good. Your sauce is good. I use peri peri, which is an Indian type of sauce. It's used a lot in like Europe and stuff like that. And fish sauce, you know, in my sauce. And the camarones were fire, you know?
I bet.
But it was 2 components from other countries, but the rest was Mexican. And it was still el zarandeado, which is it's known for us, you know? So little things like that, you know, we just play with it. But at the end of the day, we still keep it Mexican, you know? So that's
do you think that's like where some of the best dishes come from the world, like in the world, because they implement like different like you said, sauces or whatever it is from other fusions exactly from other like traditional things that they do, and they make this bomb ass dish that it's like crazy. You know what I mean?
It's like in Peru. In Peru, ceviche is a huge thing, right? Peruvian ceviche is one of my favorites. I'm Mexican, dog. Don't get me wrong. I love my aguachiles and everything. Pero un pinche ceviche peruano chingón.
Leche de tigre.
Leche de tigre, yeah. But leche de tigre has ginger also. Why? Because a lot of Japanese people came to Peru. That's why the sashimi, that's why the arroz chaufa and all these different things is fried rice with the fusion, you know, Japanese fusion and Peruvian, you know. So things like that throughout history, that's how it happens, you know. Like in Vietnam, they have the banh mi, you know, like the it's like a bolillo with the meat and everything like that. It's because the French came and conquered in Vietnam when they were there for a while or whatever, and they brought the baguette, and that's where they got that from, you know. So yeah,
it's crazy.
It's like us, like you like tacos al pastor?
Fuck yeah,
that comes from fucking Los Árabes, you know, because they brought the kebab, the doner kebab,
the halal,
and all that shit, and they brought it to Mexico, and that's why we have tacos al pastor.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Yo
that's
tengo-
what. Oh, go ahead.
Yo tenía una pregunta. What has been one of your hardest dishes that you've ever made, or that's been a challenge for you?
I think everything I make is challenging, but in its own ways. You know, like I just did a pop-up recently, and it was my boy. He's a Afghan kebab chef. He doesn't like to be called a chef. He's like, I just fucking cook kebabs, you know? Kebab senpai. That's my boy. Follow him on Instagram. So he's like, we were talking about doing a pop-up for a while and everything, doing a collab, and finally we did it. We did it in K-Town, and we did kebab tacos, right? Sounds easy. You know, you do a taco con carne, salsa, ahí está. But no, my ass, you know, I'm like, no, I want to make it like this, and like that.
Lo voy a hacer exótico.
Yeah, sí, güey.
Take it to the next level.
So we ended up doing, I brought my mom out for that event. You know, my mom was like a huge influence for what I do and stuff. And I brought her, and I'm like, Mamá, ¿quieres venir a hacer tortillas? And she's like, sí, you know, right away. She got excited. So we made heirloom blue corn tortillas a mano, you know, and so it was tortilla, blue corn tortilla, and then we did the burnt cheese. So we did the cheese on the griddle, put the tortilla on top, so it had the crispy crust, and the meats and hibiscus pickled red onions and a bunch of cool shit, right? But we had a big ass line, right? It's great, you know. We did good that day. We sold over 200 tacos. But I wanted to make fancy tacos. So what was the challenge? That it took me, some people were waiting 30 minutes to get their food because I wanted it to look a certain way. And so if you talk about challenges or things that, you know, like I think you got to work on or whatever it is, my boy was like, "Fool, you're just making them too fancy." And I'm like, no, this is how I want it to look, you know? And once people tried it, they forgot they were fucking waiting for a long ass time because they're like, "Oh, chef, this is so good."
It was
you know?
worth it. Yeah.
It was worth it. It was worth the wait. But it's just, you know, learning, I would say, learning how to work faster and learning how to like have a better system. And probably next time when I do it again, because I will, bring in more hands, you know, bring in more hands and a bigger setup.
I think I asked you this earlier. Do you think like presentation on your food matters?
Fuck yeah.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
Just like you said, right?
Yeah.
Like people were waiting 30 minutes, but if you give them a beautiful dish that looks delicious, they don't give a fuck about 30, 40
like when
minutes.
When people follow, if you know, you guys decide to follow my Instagram, Chef Felipe Cuevas, you guys will see it that I have a whole reel from that event, and the tacos are beautiful, you know, and some people were like, "This is not even a taco, this is art," you know. And I was like, "Oh shit, that's pretty dope," you know, to hear things like that. It's really dope. But yes, to me, because you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth, you know, before you taste something. I think right now we're in an era where social media is so big, and everybody's right there clicking, looking at everything, and see, para mí, güey, like if I don't know how to play something, I go on Google. and I put plating for this and this, and I get ideas, you know? Some people might say like, oh, this is... No, you just get ideas. You get inspired, you know, on how to do something. There's recipes that I want to make, and I never did. Google that shit, you know? And it doesn't have to be exactly what you find, but you get the idea of how it goes.
I feel like that's what great artists, and Chef is an artist as well, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what great artists do, you know? They get inspired by just looking at other things, and you bring it into your own, like, ¿cómo se dice? Like, your own, como tú dices, tu propio sazón. Le das tu propio sazón.
Your own style.
Exactly, your own style to it, you know?
And like I said earlier, man, like, I think eating should be an experience. Everything that I've done in life, when we did nightlife and everything, you know, I ran a bunch of nightclubs and stuff, and people would ask you, you know, promoters or people like, why are people going to come to our club instead of the other club over there? Because we're giving them a better fucking experience.
Yeah.
Facts.
You're going to get the same fucking bottle on bottle servers, the same drinks at the bar, the same everything, but why are they coming to us? It's a better experience, better service, you know? So that's what you have to bring. So ahorita, ¿cuántos pinches tacos hay en cada esquina? You know, so yeah,
every corner.
Every corner. It doesn't mean that some are fucking horrible or whatever it is, but there's gonna be a better taco. There's gonna be a better experience. There's gonna be better service. There's gonna be guys that are doing better on social media, posting it. They're gonna be doing al carbón instead of fucking todo minced, you know. Like, I'm not a believer in, like, buying the meat already cortada y sazonada and nomás las tiras en la plancha y you cook it. No. I want to see some fucking carbón, the mezquite, you know. All that is a game changer.
And it gives a different flavor.
Different flavor. That's the experience you're looking for, you know.
Damn.
If it's fucking simple, I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know? That should be like your mantra for life, you know. If it's easy, you don't want it. You know, it's... For men, you know, that goes various ways, you know. So
definitely.
So yeah, you know, it's like, think about it, you know, and it's something that I try to do in everything that I put myself into, you know.
Actualmente eres un chef privado, pero ¿tienes en mente crear o empezar tu propia cocina o tu propio restaurante?
Sí.
Para agarrar tus 5 estrellas Michelin.
Yeah. Three.
Is that a goal?
Yeah. I do want to open a restaurant. Pero ahorita no pienso... Mira. So, para un restaurante, no nomás es saber cocinar. Es saber operaciones de un restaurante, management y todo. Gracias a Dios, that's my background. Operations and management. So, I know that I could run it properly porque los budgets, cómo se gasta la feria... Your profits, you're looking at like 30%, and you still got to break that down to everything. And sometimes a lot of restaurants don't make a lot of money. You know, people with like do pop-ups or people who have food trucks or stuff like that make more money sometimes porque no tienes el mismo pinche overhead. You know, un restaurante, güey, dependiendo de dónde está, los taxes. Y ahorita que el mínimo está subiendo por todos lados, so you're paying somebody $20 here, $25 here, $30 here. Exactly. At the end of the day. Y después llegas al restaurante y la gente dice, oh, why is this plate $35?
Sí,
pues no mames, güey, me costó pinches 29 para hacerlo, with the staff cost and everything.
Casi te cuesta más para ideártelo.
Pero vamos a lo mismo, to the management.
Ajá.
A veces vas a comer a un restaurante y sí te venden el plato a $35 y ya te enojas más porque el servicio está culero, está para la madre, no te atienden bien o desde el principio están siendo sangrones en el restaurante. You know?
So, yo siempre he pensado, güey, que you treat everybody nice.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing, you know, customer is always right. That's not true. But you have to, if they're spending their money, you treat them right. And you give them the best experience. Si algo sale mal, you fix it. You comp them something. Les mandas un aperitivo o algo, you know, algo diferente para hacer la experiencia. Es parte de la experiencia. Porque ahorita no sabes nunca quién está llegando a tu restaurante. Puede ser un food writer, un food blogger, lo que sea. But, yeah, I do want to open a restaurant. Hopefully in the future. No, not hopefully. It's going to happen in the future.
It needs to.
It's going to, 100%.
Hey, tasting this. Tasting
yeah.
your sazon.
We'll be there. And I'll tell you guys something.
We will be there. We'll be there for sure.
I've never talked about this in public like this or to people, but I had a concept that I wanted to do. I fucking love rotisserie chicken. I love that shit. Peruvian rotisserie, Mexican rotisserie, toda esa madre. Me encanta, güey. So, I had a concept that I wanted to do. It's... Everything's over the fire, right? Wood, mesquite, toda esa madre. But it's rotisserie chicken driven. But, okay, so... I wanted to do a Middle Eastern style, Mexican style, and Peruvian style rotisserie chicken. All in the same place, but you get 3 different flavors, you know? Shit. So 3 different marinades. So you get 3 different experiences. So it's all fusion, you know? And then you have your sides, you have your different things. I went to Mexico a few years back, and I saw, like, in Michoacán, in a random-ass place, pollo rostizados, en la cosita así. Y abajo... un chingo de papas con sazonadas y toda esa madre. Y cocinándose con todo el juguito que está cayendo de los pollos, güey. Y dije...
México
I'm gonna do that. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do that. Yeah, so I've always had that concept. But... there's more to it, of course. I don't just want to do that, right? I want to do the restaurant right there. And in the back, you have a bar, right? 20, 25 seats, minimal, small. And that's, you could go through the front, order whatever you want, you know, fucking chicken to go, lo que caiga, that with your sides, or you could go inside and eat. But you'll get the same dish or other dishes, you know, everything seasonal, menu changes, you know, type of thing. But over here, you get it plated. You know, you could have something different. You could have a tomahawk. You could have different things with different flavors, but using either the rotisserie chicken or other stuff that we do, you know, and with a full bar with some amazing craft cocktails, craft beers, you know.
Hey, it sounds amazing, and something I gotta say is I'm sorry, Beto. I know you can't eat chicken.
I'm allergic to chicken, bro.
You're gonna miss out.
Damn.
Not just chicken, poultry.
All poultry?
All poultry.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that. Anything that fucking flies.
Ahí tiene uno.
That's crazy.
No, but going back to your concept that you're saying, it sounds fucking great, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like you already have it together, though.
Yeah.
It's like,
I've been working on it for
make it happen.
5 years in my head. Yeah. It's funny because I'll be asleep and then I wake up at like 2, 3 in the morning and I have an idea and I grab my phone and I put it in my notes. Because then I'm like, if I'm dreaming, se me va a olvidar, güey. So I just... Yeah. That's how I came up with a dish that I did at one time. You know, I dreamt it. Y me levanté, dije, fuck that, I'm writing this down, you know?
I was going to ask you that. Have you ever dreamt of a dish and then made it? Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, little things like that, you know, que poco a poco vamos a dar, pero te digo, it's something that, you know, I love doing this shit, man. I love doing this shit. And I see myself doing it forever. And I just want other people to experience good food, you know, porque te digo, a veces, ahorita, one thing que it bugs me a little bit, man, is like, vas a Miami, toda esa madre, y ves unos restaurantes acá bien perros, ¿sabes? Bien chingones, pero, puro pinche show. The food sucks.
Yeah.
Te vienen pinche tomahawk steak con luces, and everybody's clapping, $1,000 for the steak. But the steak is just a fucking steak. Lo más le ponen sal y ta, you know. Yeah, it's sometimes,
in
you know,
pocas palabras, the steak is ass.
The steak is ass, you know, like or the appetizers and everything. So my friend right now that's opening the restaurant over there, Victor, Chef Victor Munoz. That's one of the things that we had a conversation about before too. He's like, bro, everything over here is gimmicky. You know, it's just for the influencers to pose. He's like, big old glasses, the sacas el hielo, this, how much drink you get, you know, like little things like that.
But it's well plated.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what I'm saying is the experience. Yeah. People are willing to pay whatever the fuck you tell them to for the experience.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's right. Not charging them high prices because it costs to get these things. It costs to be on a restaurant in fucking South Beach or in Hollywood or in West Hollywood or whatever. It costs a lot of money for these things and to operate, right? But what I don't like is charging them and it tastes like shit.
You're right. No, you're right. But there is 2 types of people. People who will just go for the experience and people who go for the actual food. You get me?
Yeah. So I want to feed both of those people in one.
Okay. Yeah.
The experience and the food. That's what we need.
That's the perfect combo.
Yeah.
Perfect combo.
Yeah, and that's don't get me wrong. There are places like that. But I'm saying for the most part, everything you see on social media and everything, like oh, I want to go eat here because it's a crazy ass show and everything like that. Cool. But was the food good?
Just like,
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to shit on none of the restaurants out here in LA, but most of the Mexican fancy restaurants that I don't want to say names, but you go. Don't get me wrong, it's well plated.
Yeah.
They'll even bring it out to you dancing and everything, you know?
Yeah.
But the food is fucking ass, man.
Te está vendiendo el show nomás.
Yeah, exactly my point. You know, so we got to do better, man.
Yeah.
As a community, as a culture, like, we're raza. I'm talking about all Latinos, all Hispanics. You know, like, we got to do something different when it comes to this, and just kind of change it up, man.
Hey, like Soulja Boy says, I'm the first to do it. Hey, you're going to be the first to do it. You know what I mean?
No, that's the thing. I'm not the first, but the thing is, some of the people doing it aren't as big or aren't as known. You know, so go support that small business, man. Go support the food truck. Go support the mom and pop shop, the hole in the wall, and the fine dining restaurants, of course. You know, like, and all this kind of stuff. Like, support it all. But don't think because es un pinche restaurancito que you always drove through y esa madre, don't think it's not going to be good, man.
Facts.
Some of my favorite spots are hole in the walls, dog.
Literally, same thing.
Yeah.
You know, little holes in the walls that you wouldn't expect it to be like some great food, but one of the best foods you've tasted. You
in
know
downtown, what I mean? where I live in downtown, walking distance for me, se ponen señoras de Oaxaca selling guisados. You know, mole de pipián. I guess in Guatemala, there's... I go walk the dog sometimes. There's a Guatemalan lady that sells fried chicken. So I guess out there, fried chicken is big. Pero como lo hacen ellos, so son de ellos chicken crispy as fuck y papas.
Yeah.
Pollo y papas. And they put like these green sauce with ketchup and all kinds of shit.
Better.
But it tastes good as fuck. You know? But some days, I'm like... I've been cooking for people all week. You know what? I want to just go out. Lo que caiga. Y nos persinamos que salga bien y no llegue el pinche retorcijón más tarde. Pero for the most part, man, it's been good.
What has been one of the difficult things you've encountered with either a catering event or just in this industry in general?
I think with caterings, I have two answers for that. I think with caterings, it's sometimes you're not in your kitchen. You're in everybody else's kitchen or in everybody else's space or backyard or whatever it is. So a veces no tienen nada, güey. You know, a veces te dicen, oh, what do you have? Oh, we have everything. Don't worry. Toda esa madre. Por eso yo para todo traigo mis cosas. Traigo cuchillos, traigo pans, pots, todo. Porque cuando llego, oh, es que no te funciona esta. Pinche, todo el teflón ya está deshecho y toda esa madre, you know? Or you go to a nice-ass kitchen, too, but the wife doesn't cook. Or they don't use it. Y no saben ni cómo prender algo. Or they don't, you know...
They don't know where to find the tools.
Yeah. So, yo diría es eso. De que cada vez que vas a cocinar es algo nuevo. Es
No
algo
sabes qué
nuevo.
esperar.
No sabes qué esperar. So, you always got to prepare yourself with everything, you know? So that means loading up the fucking car con todo y trayendo extra de todo, you know? O te dicen, okay, I want a catering for 10 guests, 15 guests. Y llegan 25, güey. Y después están viendo como que, ¿por qué se acabó la comida? Pues porque llegaron 10 más, güey. Yeah, exactly,
Nomás pediste por 10, ¿no?
Yeah. You know, but sometimes you just still manage to make it work.
Pa' que rinda.
You know, pa' que rinda o aunque no les tocó todos tomahawk, pero al otro le toca algo, you know, so little things that you do, you know. But I would say another challenge or difficulty in the industry, I would say support, you know. Sometimes the people you expect to support you the most are the last ones to support. And sometimes the people that support you the most are strangers.
Es cierto.
Sí, güey, hay gente que ni la conoces and they're reposting you all kinds of stuff. Y gente que tú conoces que you're like, that's my boy, or we did this, or I did this for him, or whatever, or they hype me up when I'm in front of them and they don't even give you a like, you know, like, I'm not asking for money, I'm not even asking for a share, you know, just like a fucking video, you know, like, y nomás se ven las stories que lo vieron, pero nada.
Nada de like.
Yeah,
no
but it's like, that goes back to this. that you guys are doing. You know, this is here to support the people, you know, and for people to tell their stories and get something off their chest, and you know, and exposure to a new audience. Y sí, güey, a veces te digo, la gente que esperas que they're gonna support o algo, nada.
Y no solo es en esta industria, yo creo que eso aplica en
todo.
Everything. That's facts. You know what I mean? Like you explained it right. You know, like the people that you least expect to fucking support you or supporting you, sending you messages like, oh, keep it going, fucking all that, like, oh, good shit. And like you said, like people close to you that don't even
like you think we're gonna be the main ones or nothing, you know, like. Y a veces uno dice que es envidia o, you know, like things like that, but I don't like to think like that tampoco.
Y a veces,
you know?
y a veces la gente tiene más que uno y aún así andan de envidiosos, you know?
Facts, bro.
But, you know, it is what it is, man. You keep going that just means you gotta work a little harder. You gotta work a little harder y ponte las pinches pilas y a darle, you know?
They gonna hop on the train.
Exactly. When the gravy's going, ahí le quieren echar, you know? But it's funny because you get to see the difference in people, and that's why one thing that I'm big on, it's irrelevant to the point, but also like not everybody's your friend. Don't call everybody your friend. Oh, that's my boy, and like no, that's your acquaintance, that's your coworker, that's somebody you know. That's, you know, like we have to start separating that, because se me hace que la palabra amigo, toda esa madre, we throw it around so easily now, you know? Y compa and everything like that. You know, it's part of our culture, but half of these fools don't fuck with you, you know? So you have to differentiate that too. If you weren't invited, don't ask to go.
Yeah.
You know? If they invite you last minute, don't go. You know, I think that's something that it's for your own self. You know, it's for your own self to give value to yourself, you know? Don't be somebody's last minute, you know. Si quieren que te inviten y quieren que vayas a hacer algo, güey, te van a decir, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know, a veces pasa like, you know what, me levanté hoy, quiero hacer una carnita asada, I'm gonna hit up the boys si quieren venir.
Yeah.
Pero si ya puse en Instagram que voy a hacer un pinche party hace una semana y te invito 3 horas antes,
se me la verga.
You know, like things like that. It's just don't stretch yourself. You know, because then that makes you look thirsty, and even to yourself, it's not good mentally, I would say. You know?
You have to value yourself.
Exactly.
You know, value yourself, because there's a lot of selfish people out here. You know what I mean? That are just looking out for themselves.
They don't deserve you, your energy, and whatever it is that you bring to the table. You know.
No, facts.
Yeah. So hay que ponernos las pilas, y even if you lose some, that gives you room to let some new ones in. You know.
Yeah.
Facts. Y con eso, hey, we're getting a little deep. Let me spark up this fucking joint so we get a little deeper into this. Because hey, and thank you for this. You know, bringing us the joints. You know, and
the Cali honey,
the Cali honeys. We're gonna spark this. I know y'all haven't seen this in a while. You know what I mean? We haven't smoked in the fucking podcast. Fucking more than a month, probably 2 months. We stopped it, but we're bringing it back. You know what I mean? We're not potheads anymore, but we smoke, I guess you could say now. You know, here and there. You know, and
same.
What is this? This is infused with what?
These are infused exotic flower. So it's an infused joint with keef, and it's a lemon cherry gelato that you're gonna smoke right there. Gelato. So this comes in our infused pre-roll box. Has 4 pre-rolls, half a gram each. Pretty good.
¿Qué viene siendo esa la de allá?
Esta de aquí arribita, esa merita. Yeah.
Esa de allá arriba, y también nos trajo otro. He brought us with a care package. Food, weed, drinks. God damn.
El viejo se lució.
Muchas gracias, la neta.
Ese sí lo invito otra vez.
No,
invitado de estos quiero, ¿no?
No, y neta, whenever you want to come and speak about literally anything, not even about, you know, food, you know, just sit down and, you know, speak about anything, you know, anything.
Thank you.
You can literally come and chop it up with us, you know.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Para eso estamos aquí, like we were telling you, you know what I mean? Let me stop talking and smoke this shit before I fucking... Eso es lo que no extraño from smoking. I used to talk about smoking.
Pass the goddamn drum.
Yeah. Pass the joint, shut the fuck up, you know?
Keep that shit before it turns off.
Yeah. Good thing you sparked that one, because if you spark the hash roll, we're going to get stuck. Those hash rolls are fire.
You do smoke, right?
Huh?
You do smoke?
Oh, I'll take a little hit, you know? I do smoke, but sometimes, you know, I get a little too high.
Hey,
A todo le pasa, no se preocupe.
yeah, a todos nos pasa. You know, we took a little break of, well, at least myself, I took a break of, it was 6 months, not smoking, and then we hung out, we went to tacos. He rolled the joint, I hit that shit twice. Oh my God, empecé a...
Yeah.
I
Start
panicked.
hallucinating and having panic attacks.
I just panicked. I was like, fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. The thing, that's what we were saying earlier, man. Like, we just get stronger year by year, man. Like, all these cross genetics y todo, quién sabe qué están haciendo, qué le echan al agua, güey. Pero
La neta que sí.
At this point, I need some fucking Labrador. I already hit it.
La neta que sí. Like, I'm sure you started smoking way before us, right? But I started smoking, I think it was like 2016, 17.
Oh, yeah.
Weed was... It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. But it wasn't as good as like now. Now, like, they infused it with a bunch of shit. Crystals.
Hey, le meten wax, cristal,
Yeah. That's just fucking wild, you know
Crystal
what I mean?
wax, no vayan a pesar de la otra carne.
No, también le meten de
Los
eso.
diamonds.
Some fools.
no, like, our hash hole is really good, but it's a different kind of high. Porque te digo, tiene 0.5 of hash rosin. I'm good. He's bad to him. And...
I'm gonna listen to them, man.
It's fire flower. It's really fire flower. And then with the hash, it gives you that flavor. But it gives you like a mellow high. I feel like sometimes straight weed just gives you like stuck. And I feel with the hash, it gives you like an alert high, you know? But it's fire.
No,
And
fuck
you guys
yeah.
are going to enjoy those. And then, of course, anytime you're out on the road or whatever it is, our live resin disposables,
Fire
that's the
too.
go-to, dog. Anywhere.
Hey, it's just like food. You need to infuse these things to make them better.
Yeah. And the other thing with that is like, you know, like now a lot of vapes and stuff like that when it comes to oils and distillates and everything, they have banana, strawberry, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't like that because nothing tastes like weed anymore. You know, you're smoking it and
You don't know what
you're
it's
tasting straight strawberries. That's not what we taste like. These are other
chemical
herbs and
shit.
chemicals that they add to it
Yeah.
to make it taste in these flavors. We infuse all of our flavors with HTE, which is high terpene extract. Everything comes from the plant, so everything's plant derived. We don't do none of these like fake flavors and none of that kind of stuff. So when you smoke our vapes, it tastes like weed, you know. So
Ahorita lo vamos a probar un ratito, pues.
eso. Yeah.
Para dormir, va a decir.
Pa' dormir.
Pinche marihuano. Él es el único que fuma aquí, la neta.
No, yo no fumo.
Es el que le pega.
Me too. When
poquito
I'm
más.
home,
Me dice que soy
you know,
borracho,
my
güey.
day's done. Spark one up.
Ya.
A gusto.
Tengo una preguntita.
Vámonos.
We're gonna take it back more to like your background. Ya nos platicaste un poquito de lo que haces y de lo que quieres hacer. Give us a little more about your background.
Like what?
Like where did you grow up? How was it for you growing up?
Born and raised in South Central, Slauson and Broadway, you know. I went to 61st Street Elementary School, went to LA Academy Middle School, went to Fremont High, got kicked out. For
Nah,
fighting.
you did not go to Fremont.
I went to Fremont, yeah.
That-
For like a year and a half, and then I got into a
okay.
fight in the bathroom and fucking got kicked out because after that, after I got in the fight, you know, they took us to the office and then they looked at my record and I had 86 absences in one semester.
Fuck.
But the thing is, that's why I did nightlife, man, because I used to miss all these days because I was throwing all the kickbacks, you know, so that's where I would say the promoter side started in a way.
Hold
you
up,
know?
that's right. You were seen since like 16 or what, how old were you?
Before that. Yeah. That was before. It was high school. It was like 14, 15, 16. Yeah,
No
around there.
mames. Te involucraste en esa cosa bien temprano.
Yeah. Well, my brother was a senior when I was a ninth grader, you know, so, you know, you got to go kick it with the big
With the big boys.
and the big boys and everything. And, you know, it's kind of that kind of stuff. But I think it was the best thing that happened to me. It, that fight and then finding out all this kind of stuff, they gave me this test and everything. And I had like one of the highest scores that they ever had on that test. And the counselor's like, hey, man, you're smart, but you're just dumb. You know, like,
You're smart. You just don't come to fucking school.
Yeah, exactly. But they sent me to a continuation school in downtown in Skid Row, you know, by the Greyhound station. It was called Metropolitan. And it was one of the best things to happen to me. That literally gave me a whole 360 turn.
Why do you say that?
Because it took me out of the hood in a way. You know, it took me out of like the situations, the people, you know, like all that kind of stuff. And I feel that was like the smart fuck up school. You know, like all the smart kids that are fucking up, go there. You know, there was another continuation right behind Fremont. That was a shit show.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, no, we're not gonna put you there. Send me to that one, and it worked out great, man. It ended up. I got a lot of internships. I did an internship with Senator Gil Cedillo. It was a Young Senators program. It was called. We they flew us to Sacramento to like try to remember the Dream Act, which is now a thing. We were part of the beginning of that. You know, when we went to Sacramento to speak in front of like Congress or whatever it was. Yeah, and you know, I just liked all that kind of stuff. You know, and a lot of other programs, art programs. I did a whole fashion program as well. I know how to fucking create
Design
clothes and shit like that.
Yeah,
I never really talk about that, you know, but it's things that I did, you know, that I had opportunities to be a part of and stuff, and great teachers and people, you know, that kind of helped me set my shit straight, you know, and put my hustle mentality into the right kind of hustle, you know. And I had an internship, LADWP. I used to work at the commissioner's office, like in downtown. Dog, I would go to school and fucking in a suit, you know, a little 15, 16-year-old in a fucking suit. But I loved it because I only had to go to school half of the day, and then I left to go work the rest of the day, you know. So it was cool. But yeah, man, born and raised in LA. Parents are from Michoacan. Yeah, you know. So I don't know. Any other details you want? I told you not to give me weed, man.
Nah, but like from what you're saying is that so that changed your life, you would say?
Yeah.
Little change that you did right there?
Yeah.
Your mentality?
And also, I think being in downtown also opened me up to a lot of new food. So I was the kind, you know, like after school, the kids would go to like the burger stand and get some fries and whatever. I would go to the Chinese spot. I would go to Little Tokyo. I would go to K-Town. I would go eat
explore
at
all these
pupuserias and everything, dog, in downtown on my way back home, you know? And I think that's where, like, a lot of the things, flavors and stuff started for me, too. You know, like, even before that when I was little, but, yeah, it opened me up to different cuisines and shit, you know? So it was cool. It was a different experience and stuff. But, yeah, aside from that, I have a brother, I have a sister. I'm the baby, you know.
Nice.
My sister just had a baby too, and yeah, no, I think I'm ready to have some kids now too. Yeah,
Yeah, you ready for some kids?
yeah.
How many kids do you want?
Two.
Two?
I would say two.
A girl and a boy, or boy?
Girl and a boy. I think we always want that pair, you know.
Right.
Pero pues lo que salga, you know?
Do you have like a lot of nieces and nephews, or do you just?
No, not a lot. Well, directly on my side with my brother and my sister. My brother has 3 kids, and my sister has 1, like a newborn. And then
And they still haven't convinced you to not have kids? Shit. Right here at my house, bro, so fucking shit. So I play with it for like 5 minutes, and I'd be like, "Yep, here's your thing."
no return policies. Yeah.
Ya no lo quiero.
El timer se te va.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're only cute in the beginning.
It's a lot of work, man, but I feel like it's something beautiful and something like dope, you know, like I've seen people that should not have kids having kids, and they made it, you know.
Same.
They're still alive, so.
hey, I've had baby fever before too, like, and this happened like recently too, because I know I'm getting older. I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? So I could kind of understand that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so talking about parents, you know what I mean? You were talking about your mom earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see her as a role model on like what you do?
Oh, 100%.
And like your dad as well.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents bring a lot out of you, huh?
yeah. And you know they're big supporters, man. They're big supporters of everything that I do. You know, so my mom's super proud. I took her to the event, the last pop up that I did, and I'm like, "Ama, ¿quieres hacer tortillas?" You know, mano. She's like, "Yeah, hell yeah." And you know they're getting older and stuff, so you know their knees hurt, their back hurts, all this kind of stuff. That day, she was like, esto me dio vida, you know, like, nada le dolía, you know, like she said she was excited that, you know, to see me working and plating, and we had chefs and people show up and everything, you know, like, and friends and people in the industry, and they were just like trying her food and everything, and that got her super happy. And there was a Michelin trained chef that was there too, And my mom was teaching her how to make tortillas a mano. And I'm like, Mom, do you know who that is? She's like, no, pero sí aprendió. Like,
ya le enseñé cómo.
Yeah. So after, like, the chef was like, can I take a picture with your mom and everything? You know, like, things like that. And then, you know, my pops, man, like, I just remember as a kid, like, him always doing caterings, too. You know, doing caterings and being in his apron, and we had these big old pots and chafing dishes and chef's pans and everything, and I would just be like, damn, that's so cool, you know, like, I want to cook. And one of the funny memories too from that was that I'm the youngest, my sister's the oldest, my brother's in the middle, and we would go to restaurants, right? I was 8, 9 years old, my sister's 5 years older than me, and we would go to a restaurant, and they would bring me the kids menu, and they would bring her the regular menu. So we'll switch this fast. My sister will order like the you know, like the chicken tenders or whatever. Y mi dad ya sabía, este güey me salió caro. Y me dijo, ¿qué quieres? Lobster tail with steak, please. Always, dog. Ya me conocían. Mi lobster tail and all the nice ass dishes. Like, I'm telling you, I feel like salí con pinche buen palate, güey. Like, you know, I've always like. Whatever it was, I was always down to try random weird stuff, you know, something that other people don't try. And like traveling in Asia, man, like you there's some weird shit. You know? Like,
I bet.
But it's part of their culture, you know, and they eat it and everything like that. So sometimes it might not look appealing, but you try and you're like, holy shit, that's good, you know. There's this thing called balut.
What is that? Like an animal?
Don't fucking try it, dog.
It's animal or like a
no,
plant,
it's
or
an egg.
Oh, shit.
It's an egg. It's like an egg, right?
From what?
But yeah, chicken. It's like a chicken egg and different versions of it, right? But
he's like chicken.
What they chicken. Nah, but it's the egg right before it hatches, so it's like the embryo. You know, so it's
a fetus.
The fetus, yeah. So it's like a chicken fetus. So it's you know how you cook eggs, it's like huevo and everything like that. You know, or your hard-boiled egg is like this. No, this is they let it almost hatch, but then they boil the motherfucker. So then they crack it or whatever, and they put like sauce on it or whatever, and then you eat it. And there's a couple feathers on that shit. There's the beak, the head, all that kind of stuff.
So it's technically like a little baby.
It's a fetus, right?
Yeah.
No fucking way. No, like you literally eat that.
And I tried it. Dog, I'm telling you, I'll eat a lot of shit. Throw random as Mexico, pinches, chapulines, all that kind of stuff. That one was not for me.
What would you say was the weirdest though? Like the weirdest fucking shit you ate?
I've ate fucking tarantula, I've ate crickets, I've ate in Thailand, como, you know, acá que el señor que vende los raspados y los elotes así en el carrito, tiene uno así, güey, pero it's just scorpions, tarantulas, grasshoppers y todo, pero le ponen con salecita y sazón y todo. I tried a bunch of that shit and it tastes good.
Como chicharrón.
Yeah. Como aquí los chapulines and everything, you know, like con el mezcal se come todo eso. But, yeah, you try a lot of weird shit, man, but
that was the weirdest shit.
That was the weirdest, dog. At least the one that I didn't like. There's some weird shit that look weird and people, like, you know, like in Singapore, I had this stingray teeth. Stingray.
A tooth of a fucking...
Yeah, they're not like sharp or nothing. Okay. Like, there's like little soft, little like cartilage type of things. And they make it in like this fucking fire-ass sauce. That shit was delicious, you know? But... yeah, like, I'm telling you, it's a hit or miss, but you got to try it. It's different cultures, they eat it, and you just got to be open to it, you know? But, yeah, there has been some weird shit, but there's been some delicious stuff, too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yo les tengo una pregunta que puede causar poca de controversia. ¿Por qué en estos tiempos existen más vatos que cocinan que mujeres? O que les apasione cocinar.
So you're saying that it's switched?
No, so... if you look back in history and everything, también, like, muchos de los fine dining chefs, it was always men.
Yeah.
Always men. You look back and I don't know if you guys know who Julia Child is, but she's like an old school French cook. She was on PBS and had all these shows and everything, right? She was one of the, like, first women to, like, fight through it because men, like, they were like, no, you can just bake and do that kind of stuff, you know. And she started doing game-changing shit, right?
Yeah.
But now there's a lot of women cooking. I have a lot of women chef friends, but for a while era más una industria de hombres, güey.
Yeah.
Una industria de hombres. Ahora hay más mujeres.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Maybe with a chef perspective, but I'm talking about like people at home.
Oh,
like
at home?
Like your typical, like I'm sure you've met couples.
Like, look, my
couples
wife
who be like,
cooks, right? My wife cooks.
Yeah.
But her thing is, she's like, but why am I going to cook if you cook better?
Yeah.
And she's like, and anytime I make you something, you just go and make it better and this and that. I'm like, it's just natural to me, you know, like, oh, pongo a hacer algo and I'm like, hey, you want some food? I'm going to make something. She's like, no, I'm not hungry. As soon as I'm done cooking, I plate it y todo. She's like,
Oh,
that looks good. Can you make me one? I'm like, I'm already making it. You know, like, you got to know these things, you know. But I would say I don't know, man. Like, I just enjoy it. I really enjoy cooking, you know, and I know I'm good at it. I could get better, of course. I'm getting better at it, you know, like I said, with my plating and techniques and everything like that. Pero el sazón lo tengo, you know. And my girl can cook too, but for her cooking was more like healthy meals and everything, you know, because hacía some ground turkey, some rice, everything was counted and weighted, and I'm like, nah, no mames, you know, like I want some flavor, you know. And then I come to find out that she knew how to make sopes, she knew how to make enchiladas, and I'm like, you been fucking lying to me all these years, you know, like. And she's like, no, because, you know, I'm like, nah, now you're making me this, you know.
You hit all the good stuff.
Yeah. And she's like, because that's all the greasy stuff. And I'm like, so what? I want it. Yeah.
Eso es lo que me gusta.
Pinche manteca, yeah. But, you know, my mom's still like the main cook, you know, at the house with my dad and everything. You know, she's like the main one. My dad hardly cooks now, but when he does, it's like me and my brother will go over to visit, and he's like, oh, les voy a hacer esto and everything like that, you know. So it's more like a family moment, you know. Yeah.
Damn. Pues ahí estuvo la plática bien buena con mi compa Felipe. Vamos a terminar esta sesión que estuvo bien perra, la neta. You know what I mean? Fucking, we got faded, we drank, we talked about food.
Nos trajo de todo el viejo también.
We ate fucking tomahawks.
Not one plate, 2 plates.
Oh, yeah. You guys didn't see the first one we ate outside before this one even got built over here.
You know, but hey, thank you. Appreciate you for coming out.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully we get a part 2 with you.
Yeah.
You know,
Ustedes avísenme. You know, hacemos otra cosa.
sit down and talk about other things. We were just talking to you off camera, and you have a lot of more things on your mind. You get me? You got a lot of. You're smart as fuck en todo eso.
Thank you, man.
You know?
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Por si lo quieren contratar para una fiesta privada o ya sea para lo que sea, pues ahí está el compa Felipe Cuevas.
Follow Chef Felipe Cuevas on Instagram. Yep. DM me. You know, we do everything. Caterings, private events. You want something special for you, your girl. You want to impress family members or whatever it is. Y precios es de todo. You tell me how fancy you want to make it, I make it happen for you.
Ahí está.
Y si lo contratan, nos invitan.
That's part of the contract.
Ahí vamos a estar.
Yeah.
So, no se espanten si nos miran ahí comiendo como gordo.
Voy a traer extra, güey.
Yeah, paro. No, but again, thank you. You know, y este fue otra sesión más aquí entre humo y charlas con mi compa Chef Felipe.
Yes, sir.